Yeah, it's nice to be here.
Connected.
A small prep school campus.
Right. It's very nice. Hello, Ned.
Hi, Mary.
Hi, Mary Kendall. Yes.
Nice to see you.
Hi, Ned. Nice to see you again.
Too.
Hello, Joe. Good to see you again.
Good.
Have a seat.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
having us.
You're welcome. Actually, I'll come over here on the couch and join you.
Great. Always nice to be on the vineyard.
Yes,
Back
it
again.
is. On that other island.
I know, I know. There are two.
There.
Very nice.
Ned, we came over to try to get a sense for what community services has done. As you know, based on our conversation recently, the people on Nantucket, the service providers, are looking at the possibility of a single sort of one-stop shopping service arrangement. We have some town land, we're looking at building. We thought that since it's been done here in the vineyard and since it works so well, we'd like to take a look at what it is you're doing here.
Well, that's terrific. I can start with a little brief history, if that would be helpful to you.
Great.
That would be
Because
great.
in 1961, we had a group of community leaders, including a local physician, including a psychiatrist, including church representatives, who came together to start a multi-service agency. At the time, they thought it was going to just be a mental health agency. But as the years went by, they realized they needed something more particular for daycare. They needed something for visiting nurse services. They needed something for people with disabilities. And so today, we have what in many areas would be 5 agencies, that we are one agency with those 5 program areas. And I just mentioned all of them, including our domestic violence program. And we find that those 5 programs working together are very efficient and successful doing what we do together.
One of our goals is to get some of the agencies back who had to leave the island because of housing and financial needs. Our DSS person works out of her car when she comes, and our food pantry isn't handicap accessible. So it would be very important for us to do exactly what you're saying.
Well, I think, Mary, that not only are you on the cutting edge, but recently we had a meeting I think you may have heard about with our Congressman, Bill Delahunt, who basically looked around the table and said, you have to do this if you're going to survive in this funding atmosphere. You have to do this in order to provide a seamless continuum of care. And to your point, we have not only the 5 programs that comprise community services, we have a literacy center which is run by the high school in one of our buildings, and we'll take a walk in a minute and see. We have regularly a DSS roundtable. They don't have office space here, but they come and they work with our professionals in our different departments. We have legal services who come and use our space, and it's a collaborative effort because they will see our clients as we provide them space, and it's a nice trade-off. But I think your idea to have one-stop shopping is very, very important and is the state of the art if we're going to survive in the 2000s and deliver the services we deliver.
So let's have a look.
Okay.
Good.
Come with me out this door. Just ignore the cameras. We have about 130 staff altogether, $5 million budget, and the administration is all in this top floor. That includes my office, the Director of Administration, and our development office, as well as the person who handles contracts, payroll, and of course the boardroom. We have one administration for all 5 of the programs, so what that means is for accounting, we pay one bill for one accountant who does the audit for all of the 5 programs and those 130 staff and that $5 million budget. We also have a boardroom, one board, for those programs, and people from all walks of life with interest in daycare or mental health or nursing. The administration, for example, the contracts officer, does the contracts with the Commonwealth of Mass for every program and every service that we provide. And it is very efficient that way. Plus, we all know what each other is doing on a good day.
That's great to hear, because one of the major goals of our project is to centralize those kinds of things and ultimately save money and improve the quality of services. So it's
That's
nice
right.
to see that it works that well.
And you will save money, Joe, and in particular, there are many examples, but one is, of course, health insurance, which is getting impossible and very costly. When we bid out health insurance for 200 lives, families and individuals, we find it's much more cost effective than the small employer who's trying to buy health insurance for
Oh, that's huge.
5 people.
Huge.
So let's take a walk down to daycare, and I'll show you
Thank you.
what's there. Okay, so Mary and Joe, this is our daycare center, and both floors house programs that begin with infant care. We are the only center on the island that does infant care. We have toddlers, preschoolers. We have Head Start here, and that includes 42 families. And out here is one of the areas that on a beautiful day you'll see our Head Start kids and their parents working. We have a home-based Head Start program. Again, the beauty that we're talking about is when there's a need for supervised visitation. We have that
Right.
contract. We can do that with staff from the mental health center and from our daycare program right on site. We don't have to go off site for that. Underneath our administration building, which we walk through, is offices where we have a couple of people who work for our Head Start program with their offices. And then on this side, we have our MRC funded supported work program, where we actually take clients with disabilities in the community. We do job coaching and job preparedness, and then we actually place them in real jobs. And this is where that staff has their offices. And in addition to that, we also have a group residence, and that's around the corner, not on this tour, but the program director of that area has her office here. So again, it lends itself to that team approach and that one-stop approach where administratively we can all work together when problems come up. I think I'd like to point this area out to you. And this, we had a lovely dedication in June to 2 very special women who one pioneered our early childhood program, was a professor at Wheelock, and another who has funded the visiting nurse area. And in June we brought 50 community members together. We dedicated these benches, and this is another nice thing. This grassy area, we often have our annual meetings in the summer and bring the community in, and it does feel like the community owns community services.
Right.
It's their facility. Now, if you look behind you, you'll see our walk area. It's handicapped accessible. It ties all 3 buildings together, and that means we don't need an elevator, and people can get in and out to their appointments. Now, if you walk down this way with me, I can show you the community mental health center. Here comes the person who really knows what goes on. Jan Hatcher.
Nice to meet
Nice
you.
to meet you.
Hi, it's nice to meet you.
Hi, it's nice to meet you too. Welcome.
Jan's our director of development, and she helps tie in all of these services together. They're interested in Nantucket in looking at a model that would be similar to ours, pulling programs together.
It's great. Works very well here. Here's our newsletter.
Oh,
you can
thank
take
you
a
so
look.
much.
Hot off
Thank
the
you.
press.
Great.
That's great. Thanks.
And I
Jan.
have an exclusive contract with Sonny.
That's right. And, Screen Actors Guild. You're looking at our 3rd building. Come right through, please. Look natural. Act natural.
You those guys?
Hey,
How are
good
you?
to see you. We're fine.
Screen Actors Guild.
This is our 3rd building, and we actually house all of our mental health center up above. Some of our mental health staff walking through. And down below we have several programs located. We have our visiting nurse service, which serves the entire community in a home care certified Medicare program. We have our domestic violence program. We have 4 staff that deal with 450 different women a year. And then we have a literacy program, which is actually run by the high school. And that's space that the larger community uses as needed for everything from early intervention to literacy to education-related programs. We share that space with the high school. That's another wonderful tie-in when you have the regional high school across the street working so closely with us.
Right, and that's one of the things that we hope to accomplish is all these tie-ins that you're talking about and sharing.
Is that right? And for members of your board or your community who are interested, we can show statistics where we provide thousands of dollars of care that otherwise would need to be funded somewhere, but we call it free care because high school students and their families need our help. Likewise with domestic violence, we have young people all the time coming over for programs dealing with everything from STDs to date rape to other issues of concern to high school kids and their parents. So it really is a model that ties an entire community together with a shared commitment.
Ned, one of the issues that came up in our discussions at various times was that of confidentiality. If we were to have a single building or even 3 buildings that were tied together, we would be concerned, I think, about people arriving, being reluctant to arrive, and then what happens when they show up inside a building where we're offering services of a very sensitive nature.
Yeah. Well, as you and we all know, this is a huge problem, and particularly for an island. And small islands have a grapevine, have a perceived idea that they know secrets. We can assure you that, like your agencies, we have a release for confidentiality, but it doesn't stop there. Because we have a team of people, and because we have training and we all handle this together, we can assure our clients that if they sign a release, they can sign a release for one program or another, and that we will keep that confidential. And I think what the community finds is they are more protected, not less, because we all share that that goal and that commitment to confidentiality.
Well, one of the things that I was thinking of is that if we had several programs in one building, that people would be able to come in, and if somebody drove by and say, oh, that's so-and-so's car, they wouldn't really know what so-and-so was accessing.
That's an excellent point, Mary, because if you go out into this parking lot, you'll see that in a way there's almost 3 parking lots. And so you're right that the community doesn't know whether you're here for a Head Start meeting or you're here for an education-related board session or something else.
Right.
And so we also have parking area that's really out of sight and can stay confidential.
So in a sense, the large menu protects confidentiality.
I think that's
Okay.
exactly right, and I think that's an excellent point.
Well, thank you so much.
Mary,
it
you're
was
so
a pleasure
welcome.
To meet
Come back
you,
anytime.
And you have a wonderful facility here.
So
and
glad
I hope
you could
that
see it.
We're able to do something like this.
Great.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It was nice to see you
Well,
again.
nice to see you again.
We look forward to using the information when we go back.
Take good care.
Good, thank
Good
you.
luck to you.
All right, take care.